Well, that's a way to start it. Hello, everyone. Here we go. Let's get the mic back up here. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. Things are almost set up over here. What's up, Ultronimus? Yeah, hope you all are doing well. You, of course, know that I am Midnight Hatter, and today we have something very exciting to share with you. So I've got a teeny tiny G5E update, more or less just a status update to let you know where we're at. And then we are going to do a little bit of an unboxing. This is a surprise that I had come in today that I'm happy to share with you. Full disclosure, I did open it to make sure that, it wasn't just a box of dog turds. And it wasn't, so we're going to open it up on stream, and I did, of course, undoxify myself so that you guys can't mail me dog turds. So yeah, we are streaming here from the bar, which has been a long time since we did a bar stream. I think, honestly, at least a year. So, cheers. Welcome to the bar. The pub is, as it were. I did throw up a little something. We've got a mirror back here, but y'all don't need to see what's going on behind the camera. It's a whole bunch of nothing anyway. Let's see. What's up? How is it going, everybody? Yeah, 0 out of 10, not a blind unboxing. But I think before we hop into this, I should give you guys the brief G5E update. So as far as Gundam 5E is concerned, the updated rulebook, the G5E V2, I guess if you wanted to call it that, is almost complete. We have classes, we have backgrounds. What I thought was going to be just a basic, update to the existing rules ended up being something more like an entire rework of the entire system, which was going to be great for some people. I think some people are really going to enjoy it. Obviously, I'm expecting a lot of people are going to be a little frustrated by it, but I think that it is going to be the best balance of welcoming, because, I think I was trying to do too much, and so we're taking a step back and analyzing the original sort of mission statement of what I was trying to do is make it the most accessible Gundam tabletop RPG, fan-made out there on the internet. And I think that, obviously there's other options out there for people. The Palladium Rift version, there's a translation of the old Japanese one that's available somewhere on Reddit. But I wanted something that was going to be easy to translate, and I think that this is going to be the closest to that intended goal. And I'm very excited. We're kind of rounding the corner on it. I expect to be done in the next couple weeks because I am finishing up mobile suit lists, items. We got over 200 mobile suits to select from. We've got, close to about 100 items, weapons, upgrades. The upgrades section is going to be packed full of exciting things, so I'm very excited for that part of it. And then revised new type and tech talent lists, which, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, without much further ado, we're going to crack into this. It's a bit of a surprise to show you. Well, you probably already read the title, so you know what we're opening here. This is a vintage unboxing. I managed to get my hands on an old school 1987 Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam board game. This is volume 4. And despite the, obviously the big Mandarake logo in here, this is not a sponsored stream, so, keep the super chats coming. So let's crack it open. We're going to take a look at what we've got. I've got my phone ready to translate, because obviously this thing's going to be in Japanese, and it is as old as I am. In fact, it came out the year that I was born. So, let's crack this thing open. Hopefully you guys can see everything. Oh. Alright, let's get rid of this. I don't think there's anything else in there. Yeah, we're good. We don't need all that. And it was casting weird shadows on my face, so this is going to be a little bit better. Now I can probably tighten up the microphone a little bit here. Hopefully the downward angle of the camera is making everything visible here. Now, of course, my Discord moderator's got in my head. I was worried that I had accidentally ordered a model kit. Not the case. This is, in fact, the 1987 board game, Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, the Battle of Gryps. Now, first impressions. Let me talk to you about this box here, because I find that old school board game boxes tended to go out rather than up. You know, if you look at like a Gloomhaven, the Gloomhaven box is like 4 inches tall. The biggest game that I've got is Direwild, and that's like, you know, modern board games tend to be thicker than large and wide, like a Monopoly board. Bumble wrap, yeah. Do you want me? I'll send you the bumble wrap if you want to do some popping. But yeah, get a load of that artwork. It is something to behold. Let's go ahead and crack this thing open. This was purchased secondhand, so I'm expecting minor bits of, you know, damage, discoloration, that kind of thing, because, you know, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to hopefully streaming some gameplay of this, if I can get a nice translation of it. So this is interesting. So we've got like these flaps open up, and we've got all kinds of goodies inside. It looks like we've even got miniature model kits, which is kind of cool. Here are our rule books and tokens. This thing is so legit. I'm so excited. It's just full of pubic and morphine. Oh man. Now obviously, I'm gonna have some difficulty reading the rules. I'm going to have to go in and start translating. But rest assured, what I'd like to do is, if you guys are into it, let me know in the chat or in the comments below if you're watching this after the stream. If you want me to upload scans of all of these rule books translated, because I will do that. I'm going to translate them for my own benefit because I'd like to actually play this game. But if you want me to share my scanlations, if you will, then we can definitely do that. So, despite the fact that this is, you know, technically secondhand, it's actually, like, unopened. This is sweet. Okay, let's see. We got this is taped up here. Now, I don't know if it's just sort of a Japanese tradition, but it seems to me that board games based on popular licenses, such as Mobile Suit Gundam, tend to be episodic in nature. Like I mentioned, this is just the final chapter. I don't know if you can. Are you guys hearing my dog barking like a mad lad upstairs? Yeah, he's peeking. So this particular game is, I think, the 4th in the series, because there's Inside Green Noah, there is Titans, then there is the Battle at the Gate of Zidane, and then this is the Battle of Gryps. Huh. Sounds like there's a plane outside. Looks like we've got some tokens. Oh my gosh, this is so legit. Alright, I was wondering what these tokens were. I don't know if you can see them. Go pat them. I'd like to. If they come downstairs, I will certainly pat them. So, I don't know if you guys can see, you know, I was unsure of what these tokens were exactly. They are the, like, infrared tokens, where it's like a magic eye. You don't know what you're seeing until you put a red gel or color filter over it. That is so friggin' cool, and that is so ridiculously 80s. I don't know how many of you guys had like toys or board games growing up that had that mechanic. But I definitely miss it. I think it'd be awesome, honestly, if there was a board game that every card had multiple messages on it, and each player had a different color gel to unlock different parts of that message. It'd be kind of sweet. I'm not sure exactly what this card is, apart from listing the units from the game. Oh, it looks like it's also got instructions for how to construct our minis. Yes, indeed, this game comes with minis, which is fucking awesome. But we also have some punch outs here. Let me know if I need to get any closer with the showing it. Looks like this is a map of inside the colony. And then we've got a map of like a star map. Yeah, like I said, I'd like to, if possible. I mean, the infrared thing doesn't show a whole lot. It's just letters, which I don't understand what they mean yet. It's like S and T, I think, are the. There's one that says H. I don't know if I can get in close enough with it to reveal it, but all the same, very cool. Now this is like a whole insert that comes out. So this appears to be the game board. It's a little unfortunate that that the game board folds up this way, because it's not going to lay flat very easily. Now, if I read correctly, the game is 4-player. This is just an empty cardboard. The game is 4-player. You have 2 players that are the Aug and 2 players that play as the Titans. So this is our. I think this is like the main game board. Man, you could use their 3D printer to make minis instead of tokens. Yes, I could do that, but the game comes with minis as well. So I'm thinking that I can use the 3D printer to make more minis if I wanted to play different scenarios, because obviously this is only going to come with the Zeta Gundam, Rick DS, Hyakushiki, Gundam Mark II, Masala, Marasai, Hyzak, and it looks like a Galbaldi. So there's obviously a lot of mobile suits missing from this setup here. This map is freaking awesome. Oh, and then we've got our character guide on the back of the game board, with some pretty sweet looking art, to be honest with you. Now this is probably my favorite part of the map so far, is we have a little spinner in the center. I'm not sure exactly what it's for. It's not loose enough to, like, it's not like a flick spinner. It just is a pinned, rotating, maybe it's like a turn counter or something like that. Let's, first translation of the evening. Let's see what we've got here. So Bay Block. Yeah, it just says Bay Block. Entrance and exit. So I guess this is where your launch, like your hangar is for your, Oh, good night. Camille is the perfect name for a lady vegetable. Yeah, and that's the problem with like my phone translator. Obviously, I'm gonna have to key this stuff in and translate it online as opposed to relying entirely on the phone translator because it doesn't really pick up things as well on like a graphic background like this. I'm sure that the rule book will be easier, but we'll get into that later. So, let's see what we've got in our box of minis here. This is probably the coolest thing ever because you think about board games in 2021 and I've backed a couple of board game Kickstarters, and if there are minis involved, usually the Kickstarter makes like over $1 million, but then also the minis themselves are like you're paying like $50 for 20 minis, and it's ridiculous. These guys, oh, this is like the cutest little die ever. Little six-sided die. So these are little model kit sprues for our miniatures. Actually, really impressed with the details on these as well. I'm trying to look for a way to open them that's not going to, well, looks like we're just going to have to tear it on open. It is an interesting game. I don't know what the dogs are doing upstairs. They're going nuts. Alright. Like I said, normally I would be hesitant to tear open and, like I said, this is a vintage 1987 game. I would be more hesitant about opening it, except for the fact that, gotta play with it. It's like a 40-year-old virgin. Take them out, play with them a little bit. So the detail on these minis is actually pretty freaking solid. Let's see. I don't know if it's showing up in the camera at all. But we've got a little Gundam Mark II. We've got a little, looks like a Marisai and a Hyzak on here, and then a Rick Diaz. It looks like, so we've got two Gundam Mark IIs, two Galbaldis, two Hyzaks. Let's see what we've got in here. Right, and they're like articulated. The little backpacks come off and the little arms move up and down. I mean, it's not super articulated, but it's pretty cool. And these guys might be fun to paint, honestly. But like Pyro said, I could always 3D print them or use some kind of alternative miniature. Yeah, these are awesome. So here we've got the Masala, the Marisai. So it looks like that's actually the Galbaldi. So this is the Masala and Marisai. And then on the other side, the Hyakushiki and the Zeta Gundam. Pretty sweet. I probably need, I didn't expect that I would need, my nippers or like a hobby knife to crack these guys open. So I might grab that and then assemble one of these guys for you, because that would be pretty cool, I think. Little shield is articulated and everything. So, I mean, that's the entire contents of the box. We've got our minis on sprues. We've got our six-sided die, battle map with rotating. It looks like I said, the translation on here said something about bay, like entrance and exit bay. We've got our, I still don't know what to call this, the like infrared reader. you know, our little guide to all of our mobile suits and characters, and then we've got our punch outs over here of everything, along with a small, like a mini map. Very sweet. So, like I said, I might. And we've got our rule book over here. So, give me a hot second, and I am going to grab some nippers so that I can cut these guys open and assemble a couple of the minis to show off to you. Give me just a moment. And we're back. Sorry to hear about your internet not being set up. That really sucks. But at least getting it by Friday is not going to be too bad. Wait, what happened to the music? Was the music really bad? Was it loud compared to the stream itself? I think the audio levels are a little janky right now. So I apologize. Huh. Buggy. I don't know what I did to make the music buggy. I might just be running too much stuff on my computer right now. Ooh, I think I accidentally grabbed my God Hand nippers, so, you know. The one downside, I would say, to these minis is that they don't have any, like, weapons in their hands. It's kind of odd. I'm just going to clean up our work here. And again, like I said before, I'm fascinated by the detail that you get on these bad boys for a game from the 1980s. I don't know what the retail price of this game was at that time. I will also not say what I paid for it. So we're going to assemble our little Zeta Gundam friend here. Suffice to say that I did actually get a really good deal on it, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, unheard of, right? Like a board game that comes with miniatures in 1987. Let's see what I'm missing here. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Hey, what's up, Zaku? Making Gunpla for the Gundam tabletop game. Yes, indeed. Yeah, they do fight with their fists. So here we are, the titular Zeta Gundam. Like I said, the little arms are on pegs, so they're somewhat articulated. And I think that is just about the coolest thing I've seen all week. Just a moment, I think we have... So, for comparison's sake, this is one of the 1/400th scale Gashapon Zaku's, and I've got probably a 32mm scale GM ground type that I 3D printed. So for scale, this is the size of the miniatures. I don't know if that's coming up on screen as well. Maybe I just need to do two at a time and not overwhelm myself here. And of course the, throwing off the white balance with the pure white of our little Zeta Gundam there. But I think that, once I have translated the rules of this game, it wouldn't be hard to adapt to, putting together some unit cards for mobile suits that are not in the game. And that might be something that I plan on doing. Yeah, the actual design of the mobile suits is a little chunky, a little chonk, which I like it. I mean, look at the size of that shield. I wish that I had my my mini Zeta Gundam that I could show for comparison's sake. But yeah, I actually really dig the chonk on these. I mean, look at the size of that Yakushiki. Now, got rulebook here. Let's see what we've got here. Yes, the rules are not in English. This is what we're working with. So I have my work. I have my work cut out for me. Apparently, according to Board Game Geek, there is a translation of the rules online somewhere. I was not able to find it, and I even enlisted help in finding said translation, with no success. But let's see what we got here. So we've got overview of the game, preparing the game, game procedure, movement of the battleship pieces. So there are battleships indeed. We've got the secret card, which I assume is going to be our decoder. We've got starting, accommodating, and moving mobile suits, combat, the secret scope, which I assume is the scope with which you read the secret cards. And then, of course, the Space Fortress Gryps. So let's see what we're looking at here. And we'll see how good the phone translation of this is compared to, when I start digging into it for grammar. All right. The Battle of the Titans. What? Oh, here we go. The Battle of the Titans has reached the final stage. The fleet of the AUG with the Mobile Suit Corps for Zeta Gundam is about to be overwhelmed by Paptimus Shirako's all-out attack on the Titan's base fortress, Gryps. I was already approaching the final area of Gryps. I think that's a mistranslation. Okay, instruction number 1 is to play the game. Got it. No, it says play the game with battleship pieces and mobile suit pieces, which are divided into the AUG side and the Titans. And you head for Gryps from each base. The Gryps are rotating and can only be entered through the doorway if you have a line of sight to the turret. Interesting. So, if I may sort of translate this, the spinner that I mentioned earlier, here, let's actually, so much like the Operation Maelstrom from the last episode of the Zeta Gundam anime, what we have in the center here is the colony laser at Gryps, and presumably this central core rotates, and the only way you can enter is when those entrance bays line up. So it's almost like a timekeeper for the game. I don't know what, we haven't gotten into what exactly makes you turn the entrance key, but like you can see here in the rulebook, there's an image of Gryps turned so that you cannot enter. Let's see. Ah, yes, well, I am sipping on this evening a little bit of the Beam Black. Again, not sponsored. So, yes, my brick of a phone can actually translate. It does an okay job. It doesn't, there's a lot of interpretation that you have to do when translating this bad boy. So let's see. Let's pull that back up so that we can see what we've got here. All right. Alright, at the supply point, you can replenish the mobile suit or repair damage, but if you inadvertently enter the enemy's base, you will be attacked. There are different Aeug and Titans. Aeug wins if he breaks into Gryps and breaks through the Titan's absolute defense line, or annihilates the Titan's battleships. If you annihilate the battleships of the Aeug, the Titans win. And I think I mentioned before that the game is 1 to 4 players. At least I think it's supposed to be. Moving on. Alright, game can be played by 2 to 4 people, but the players are divided into either side, the Aeug and the Titans. In the case of 2 people, one is the Aeug, Battleship 1, and one is the Titans, Battleship 1. In the case of 3 people, 2 people play as the Aeug, 1 battleship each, and 1 plays as the Titans. So I assume that the Titans probably have a slight advantage over the Aeug units. In the case of 4 people, it's 2v2. Decide whether it is Aeug or Titans that go first with a game of rock, paper, scissors. I'm glad that that's a universal method of solving inter-game conflict. And spread the game board and sub-game board. Place them side by side in a playable mat. Fold in the direction and flatten. Well, I think we've established that I'm going to have to do some work to get this to flatten out. And you can even sort of see here. Let's pop this up. So you can see where the individual players set up their pieces here. Where it's Aeug on one side, Titans on the other, and you've got your battleship graphic. And it looks like you can have, I don't know, maybe 1 to 5 units, and then 3 something else's. Let's see what this says here. Oh, that's awesome. It actually has, like, ships from the show. I didn't realize that. So we've got I believe this is the Alexandria and the Radish on this side. And then if you flip the board around, you've got the Argama and the Dogo Skier. Let's see. It could be sponsored, though. Wish I was sponsored, though. Mediocre intensifies. Yes. All combat should be decided by rock, paper, scissors. So let's move on. See what else we have to do for this game to prepare. Alright. Remove the cards, frames, and markers cleanly. Decide which battleship you are in charge of with rock, paper, scissors, etc. And select the battleship piece. Aha. So there are battleship pieces here on the punch cards. Yep. That's exactly what I said. So we've got Argama, Radish, Dogo Skier, and Alexandria. Seems to be easy. Mobile suit can crush fast battleship. Oh man, yeah. freaking seed. Bum. In a 3-player game, the Titans player will play the role of 2 people, so they actually get to control both ships. And each player controls 4 mobile suits. 12 mobile suits are attached to 1 battleship piece. Interesting. Select your own piece and place it in place. 1 3D piece represents 1 mobile suit platoon, 3 mobile suit pieces. So the punch card mobile suits are individual mobile suits, whereas the miniatures are supposed to represent like a small squadron of 3 mobile suits, which the punch cards actually do have more mobile suits printed on them. We've got like some Nemos, some GM3 or GM2s, I'm sorry. I have no idea what that thing is. And some Hyzacs. They are super, super tiny. Alright, let's see, moving on here. Oh yeah, so, duh. I suppose I can show the image here. Down here it's got your little picture of 3 mobile suit punch cards with 1 mobile suit miniature. Boom. Yeah, no kidding. Let's see here. We gotta check something out here. Yeah, later there, buddy. As much as I love Tom Brady, people spamming stupid shit on my channel. What is this? Uh-oh. Fun to watch the fire, but I wish I knew what you two were talking about. Yeah. All right. So moving on here. Let's see what we've got. For the frame, Zeta Gundam Meta Slick, the yellow mobile suit pieces for the Titan's Gryps defense. So keep it aside. Each player puts the damage marker for each battleship. I assume that that is these guys, the little logo markers. The AUG player places his battleship piece 1 supply point in the starting position base. There are 4 locations for the Titan's base and the Tighter base. I don't think that that's right. But it doesn't matter which one you choose. However, you cannot put 1 battleship in position. Interesting. So, it looks like we've got our bases in the corner of the maps here. Let's see what we got. Got our bases in the corners of the maps where 4 units can be parked. So it really is just kind of a game of tower defense, as far as I can tell, where the Titans are supposed to try and defend both Gryps and their battleships, whereas the AUG has to defend their battleships and also take Gryps. Let's see what else we've got here. Yeah, it looks like I've got my work cut out for me as far as translating this bad boy. But I am excited for it. Ah, so this actually is not inside the colony. This is inside the colony laser, this tiny map. So I think what happens is on the large scale map, you know, it's basically like your overworld and then your close up battles, which is kind of cool actually. It's kind of like like a Pokemon game or like Zelda 2, where you kind of roam around the overworld and then you got to fight on the tiny map, which explains why the rulebook is so large, because you actually have combat both on the large scale map and up close. So this is pretty freaking sweet, and I cannot wait to trick my wife into playing with me. And that'll be a fun thing to stream for us here. Let's see. It's a Gundam show. Yes, indeed. But yeah, Zeta Gundam Tower Defense mode. Go. Again, I am super happy with the number of gimmicks and pieces to this game. There's a lot to kind of get sucked into. Once I understand a little bit more about how to play it, I'm sure that it will make for some fun streams going forward. But until then, I think I will probably wrap things up here this evening, just because, there's not much more I can do aside from you guys staring at me, staring at my phone, trying to piece together this broken English that I'm getting from the phone translator. So, that said, I think we'll do a little sign off here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this Wednesday. Again, I hope you guys are having a good day. Thanks for keeping the chat lively, and I hope you enjoyed this look at a vintage board game from the 80s. Clearly, 80s board games had it going on, at least in Japan. This isn't exactly, well, I don't know. You think about the game of life, right? You had the little cars where you could put the pegs representing all of your kids in the back seat. Like, no, I didn't go to college. I went straight to work. So that's pretty cool. I think that this has that same sort of vibe where you've got your, little miniatures that represent a family of mobile suits, as it were. Yeah, like I said before, not much more to go on the G5E stuff. And I know I said that way back at Christmas, but this time I actually mean it. And once we are done there, I've got some exciting stuff planned down the pipe. I've got some theory videos that I think might be exciting to watch. I've been doing some of the artwork and animations for that. Obviously more Gunpla and miniature painting stuff, if I could, paint miniatures without sucking. So maybe these guys will be good to practice on. That way I don't, ruin some Reaper minis or something like that. And always some video game stuff that I'm working on. So yeah, if you guys are looking forward to seeing this, if you guys have any resources, if you guys can find the translation of the rulebook, or a translation of the rulebook, shoot it my way and I'll compare it to what I've got here, and we'll see if we can go from there. If you are interested in watching streamed games, or if you would prefer to watch pre-recorded games, let me know in the comments below the recorded video of this stream, and I will catch you guys on the flip-flop. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your evening and a great rest of your week. That's it. Peace.